Hey, what's up, Curb Files? My name's Handy with Shovels on Instagram, and today I'm going to show you how to do a backside sloppy feeble grind. Get a groove on your truck and on your rail, and lock in and make some noise. Let's go get it. Have some fun. Okay, so here's my foot placement for the feeble sloppy grind. You can see the front foot, I like to have it a little bit behind the bolts, and I like to have my toes on the inside of the toe side rail a little bit. This allows the front of the board to be a little bit lighter and quicker to respond when you turn out, and also because when you turn out, the front foot has a lot of tendency to reposition itself. So if you start like this, when the foot kind of floats over towards the toe side of the board, you still have good foot placement when you come off and complete the trick. The back foot, you can see I like it kind of have it in the pocket. I like to have my heel hanging off, and we position the back foot like this because this trick, the key to it is all the pressure on the heel of your foot. That's what makes or breaks the trick. So basically going into it, it's something to this effect. Okay, something that's helpful to keep in mind when you go to learn this sloppy feeble grind is you want to find yourself a curb to when you get into your position to grind that here, your toe side wheel on the back truck is off of the riding surface. If your curb is too low and the toe side wheel is dragging on the ground, it's going to be really, really difficult to make the trick work, and it's going to slow you down when you go to grind. So if you can find something to where the toe side wheel on the back is free and clear, that'll allow you to keep going once you lock into the grind. Okay, so we already talked about foot placement, and we also talked about keeping your toe side wheel in the back truck off the ground so that way the board will grind smoothly without stopping and stuttering. So we're going to talk about how to come in at this thing to get your board into the locked position, which is going to allow you to grind. So what you want to do is you want to come to a 45-degree angle with moderate speed. And when you're coming in at this thing, you want to come off of your toes. So doing so allows this wheel to be unweighted on the back, and that's what's going to get the board up like this. And as soon as you get up to this, your back wheel on the heel side up, you want to put all the weight on your back foot on the heel. Your front foot throughout this whole entire move is just basically holding the board lightly, almost holding it so it doesn't flip back over this way. And when you lock in, everything is focused on your back foot on the heel. Almost try to imagine dragging your heel on the lip of the curb itself if you can. That's how much pressure you want to put on this thing. And you're going to lock in and just hold it with your heel. You want to make sure also that the opposite side of the curb over here is dug out enough to where your wheels don't scrub out and dig in. So when you slap into this thing, you want your shoulders running parallel with the curb. And that, in combination with your foot placement that we talked about earlier, will allow the board to turn quick when you come out. By having your shoulders in line with the curb, you've already kind of initiated the turn out by having your shoulders already kind of pre-started in the turn. So another thing that's really helpful to making the trick successfully is to turn out when you have momentum. So when you slap in, you want to grind, but then before you stop or even think you're going to stop, you want to turn out. If you come to a complete stop, it's dead in the water. It's not going to work. And when you go to turn out, I suggest that you keep all the pressure on the heel, even when turning out. Almost try to get this wheel to roll on the top like this to turn out. So that's how much pressure you want on the back foot throughout the whole trick, and especially when turning out. And when I slap in and I'm grinding, the last piece of information that I think is really helpful is what I'm looking at when I lock into the feeble is I'm looking right here at my bolts, and I can see what my back truck is doing in relation to this curb. And I'm watching it the whole time from the moment I slap in all the way until when I turn out. Because when I go to turn out, I can see what the truck is doing in relation to the curb, and it tells me if I'm going to make it successfully or not. So that's basically the long and the short of it. Off the toes, up the curb, immediately on the heel. When you slap up to it, immediately sit down. Don't wait for it to happen. Just assume when you come in, it's going to happen. That way there's no delay. Maybe worst case scenario, you come to a rock and roll slide, and that's not that big of a deal. So you want to just know that it's going to do this. Have faith that it's going to get up the curb and get into this position. Sit on your heels, front foot barely holding it so it doesn't flip over, glide and turn.